guys, it's me again. I'm here with my second video for Seller Saturdays, and last week we talked a little bit about working on the inside out and making the inside look great for selling your home. Obviously the outside is the very first impression, so that's a great idea to tidy that up. If you have any ideas for a Seller Saturday video, message me, let me know. I'm having a lot of fun doing this, so if you guys have any ideas, I'd love to listen to them. Today we're going to talk about your home value. That's a very important thing to talk about and a very great thing to know in selling your home. I recently heard someone talk about home value as a loaf of bread. Not that I'm comparing your home to a loaf of bread, but it was a really good analogy. So the home value, everyone kind of talks back and forth a little bit about it, and it's really important to know that your home is based on other homes comparable to it and other homes like it. So when he compared it to a loaf of bread, he was saying, when you go into the store, you look at other loaves of bread. You see white bread, wheat bread, sliced bread, not sliced bread. And you know, like me, I already know which one mine is. I already know how much it is, things like that. So if I go and I see it's $3 versus $6, I'm gonna be knowing that that's what it cost. And if one day it's $10, I'm gonna raise an eyebrow. But we already know what it is and we know what to expect. So that's an easy one. Now, say if you go to buy shoes and you compare one pair of shoes to another pair of shoes, $30 versus $60, or now they're like $110 versus $190, you kind of think about, well, what makes these shoes so great? Or for a guy, a tractor, you know, or a lawnmower. Like this one does 360 turns versus this one only goes, I don't know, forwards and backwards or something. So this is why I'm gonna pay $500 more for this one, or this one has, you know, special accessories on the side, and I know nothing about lawnmowers, but you get the point. So what makes this one so great versus this other lawnmower that does not have these features? So things that add to the lawnmower versus things that take away from the lawnmower. Not that the cheaper lawnmower isn't a great and wonderful lawnmower, and if you have a little tiny yard that you could even use a push mower on, but you want a riding lawnmower, you could buy that one. But if you have a really big one and you need all these extra features or even love all these extra features, then spend the more money and you can get that one. Definitely the same with the house. So extra features, extra upgrades, spend more money versus the just great and wonderful lawnmower. You can get that one as well, but that one does not cost as much because it hasn't had all these things added to it. Same with the house. So that's kind of how I look at it. Of course, I'm comparing shoes, not lawnmowers, when I look at it. So think about that when I come to your house. But so another thing that people do that's kind of a mistake is they'll pull up county tax records. The reason this is a mistake, people say, well, why is it a mistake? Because that's what I pay my taxes on, so isn't that what my home is worth? Well, it isn't really, because they do it once a year, and they don't know, have you added those 2 bedrooms in the basement? Have you added on the 900 square foot? People don't report those things because they're going to get taxed on it, so why would they report it? Your neighbor might have done the same thing, they didn't report it. And they are comparing your home to your neighbor's home. So they're looking at homes that have sold in the area, they're looking at your home, and they're looking at neighbors in the area's home. And that's how they're basing your records. So whenever you pull those records off of the county or the one that's mailed to you once a year, that's not necessarily your home value. So you kind of have to remember that when you go online and you think, well, I'm just gonna sell my house myself, or I'm gonna say this is how much my home is worth, you know. It might not be worth that much, or it might be worth a lot more, just depending on, you know, the maintenance that you've done and things like that. So those are some really good things to consider too. Another thing to kind of know, FedEx is here. So another thing to kind of know is that computers are great and wonderful, but computers are not real estate agents. I'm talking about Zillow. Their Zestimates use the exact same thing. They do the county tax records, they do the neighbors in the area. I think they go like 0.5 miles or something with you, and depending on what town you live on, or live in, excuse me, you can go from ghetto to good with just, you know, driving a few blocks in some towns, driving neighborhoods, as we all know, you know, every town, it's, you know, in neighborhoods and things like that. Zestimate does not take into consideration, you know, work that's been done to the home. They don't take into consideration a lot of things that realtors will when they come into your home. So again, don't use Zestimate when buying or selling your home. Just don't. It's not a good plan. So that being said, everybody says, okay, so I know what not to do. So what do I need to do? You need to call a realtor. The reason you need to call a realtor is a realtor has access to the MLS. She or he can go into the MLS, pull comparables that have been sold, that are being on the market, sold currently, or that are, pending status, things like that. They have access to the MLS. And the reason why that's so important is we're regulated. We can't just throw things into the MLS and say something has 4 bedrooms when it actually has 3. We're fined for those things. Other realtors are going to notice that when they show the home, things like that. So those are actually true values. We're trained, we take classes, we take continuing education classes and things like that. So there's a lot of factors that play into the MLS, and it is controlled by the Real Estate Commission and things. But that's definitely the way to go. And the realtor will bring over a certain amount of comparables when they come to your house. I usually bring like 2 sold, 2 pending, 2 active. But you can see probably several more if you wanted to, and it's just whatever you want to see. So that's what you do and what you don't do. And if you have any questions, call or text me, and you guys have a wonderful weekend. Bye.